coach your number. I see you.
That time pass, I don't play that shot in this one. That's what happens.
Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeni G. Shafe. Well, time to take a look around the world of sports. A lot of activities, even though football is on break right now, both home and abroad. But we just have to bring you some time in the world of sport. Let's start with the guest in the studio. That's Noel Samson. Good to have you, Noel.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay, and then we'll be joined from Kaduna by Tuji Oyeleke. Well, right now, Tuji, if you are there, we are starting. Okay, we are here to hear from Tuji there. Let's look at this particular role when it comes to sport. You look at media, they have their role to play. Administrators have their role to play. Even sponsors have their role to play. Athletes themselves, they also have their roles to play in sport. But today we'll be looking at, be focusing on role of media in sport development. You look at sport that for you to know about a particular player or an athlete is because one media man actually decided to write something about them. For you to know about a club or about an athlete or about a hurdler, Toby Amushon, or just about any sport, media, they are very important. They project those sportsmen and women, and also even the administrators, they also project them, the club, whatever is happening in the world of sport. They are the one that give us the opportunity to understand what is happening. We are also part of them, be it TV, radio, print media, digital, and any form of media unit where you get information to disseminate to people out there. But really, they have roles to play. Are we really playing that role well in Nigeria? Let's start with that. We are focusing on role of media in sport development. Let's start with that.
Yeah, you know, media is not about, it doesn't have a good, will I say, it goes around everywhere, even beyond sports, you do in government and every other aspect of life. But I think in Nigeria, the media have not been really doing that much the way it's supposed to do in developing sports. I don't know what the reason is, probably because of probably one finances. I don't think some media house, I don't think most, the media houses that are specifically based for sports in Nigeria are not that much. They always take sports as a secondary assignment in media organizations, which is also so because I think there should be a TV station in Nigeria where basically what they do is all about sport. I don't think there's anyone like that in Nigeria. In Nigeria, I think the only radio station I know that is basically for sport is Bila FM. Apart from that, I don't think there's another radio station in Nigeria where what they do specifically is just meant for sports. But you have that in music. You have different TV stations, okay, specifically even on music. Even when it comes to radio also too, they are basically on music, TV too. You can mention many of them, music, but which of these one particularly is based on sport? I don't think there's another one which is not quite good enough. At least there should be a station in Nigeria. When about Nigeria Premier League, they want to bring everything about it, transfers, the matches, everything. When Nigeria play international, everything. But I don't think there's anyone. Even when you want to play matches in Nigeria, we hardly don't watch. We hardly watch Nigerian matches in our own local station like that. NTA, you hardly watch Nigerian matches there because they are not even covering the match. Even the main TV station in Nigeria, the main Nigerians and main TV station is not even covering the match. So you can imagine then what do you want other private organizations to do? So to me, I think sports and media in Nigeria, they have not done really well.
Enough.
Yes, exactly.
To bring sports
to a brighter light.
Okay, now we've been talking with Noel Samson in the studio concerning the role of media in sport development. Now let's join Tuji Oyeleke in Kaduna to also contribute to this particular topic. It's very important that we know that the media. I can see you smiling there, Tuji. It's important to know that media, they have roles to play when it comes to sport development. So tell us, what do you think media, their roles? Mention those roles, let's see. Let's start from there with you. Okay, from now, maybe we just have to get the audio well there. Tunji Oyeleke, we are not hearing you. We need to actually check the audio. But really, when it comes to sport, we've seen where even local grassroots sport development, if just one person, one media man is there that can just project it, it will go viral. For example, write a short story, put it on the internet, and before you know, everybody will know what's happening in one village in Anambra State, or what's happening in Katsina State, or Lagos. You understand? Aside that, when it comes to video, or clips, or audio, or print, all this medium together, we promote sport. But when it comes to Nigerian sport, maybe like you mentioned, fun, right? But I've seen situations whereby sometimes gadgets, they need gadgets.
Yes.
Some,
that's why finance is part of their problem.
But because we are so used to foreign sports, we are so used to highlight from the EPL, we believe that our pitches are not too TV friendly. So because of that, a lot of media will feel, if we put this one on TV, it won't look nice because the pitches are tattered, are not looking good good enough on screen. But really, we just have to start somewhere. If we don't start, we will never start.
Yeah, that is us it.
Aside that, the issue of talking about Nigerian sportsmen and women, we need to always forget about, if you look at the way English sport, in any sport, be it football, be it hockey, cricket, the way they project their sport, that's what they've sold it to the whole world. That,
it gets to the extent where they hype their players
of
too
course,
much.
That's when the hyping comes in.
Where a player is worth £50,000, you say, okay, this guy is worth £20 million.
Now, look at, there are some sport that, okay, this particular sport, let's take cricket for instance. When you think of cricket, the first country that comes to your mind is Pakistan.
Pakistan, India.
India. There are times you think of Africa, Kenya, South Africa, like that, because of the way they project those sports. Now, in Nigeria, our media needs to do more. We need to love our own. Our own is our own, no matter how you want to look at it, no matter how you show Arsenal, Chelsea, no matter how you show Juventus, Roma. The Enyimba of this world, the Lobby Stars of this Nigeria, the Rangers of this Nigeria, in fact, they are more important because these are our own. If we don't talk about them, no media,
nobody will talk about them.
They don't even know if they exist. Even if they exist, they will just throw away their face because they don't give a damn about it. We need to really hype our own too. The more we write about our sporting events or activities, the more we get our sportsmen and women out there, the more people begin to know about them. Let me give you an example. There's a particular sprinter in Kenya called Omanyala. Omanyala has been running even before now, but immediately he broke into that level of among the big boys that run as a sprinter, 9.8 seconds and all that. Kenya media begins to focus on him. You understand? They begin to focus on him, and the more, and now his popularity has gained so much.
Yes, because of the help of their media.
If you go to South Africa, Simbine, the man that just broke the record of Nigerian Olusoji Fashuba, 15 years old record, he broke it by running 9.84 seconds. Fashuba ran 9.85 thereabout in 2006, and since that time, that record has been standing. But the way South Africa pressmen took that story. Remember Toby Amushon. It's not as if we didn't talk about it. Imagine if Toby should be an English lady. Imagine if she's an American.
I'm sure even when you want to collect money from your ATM, you see her face on the ATM.
Even though she got endorsement, but we need to do more because that projection, media needs to do more by adding more to it. Now, let's cross to Kaduna. If okay, Tunji is not ready with us. Let's still be talking with...
Another thing about we Nigerians also, we don't value what we have. That's also true because you can see when you and your friends, probably you and your younger friends, you're arguing about probably a particular player in a particular club. I remember when SN and Mikel was in Chelsea. You said, who is Mikel? Mikel don't even reach. Now SN is, you understand, SN is better, but to be realistic, SN is good, he's a fantastic player, but he was getting old, and Mikel was someone who was getting... he was coming up. Why not just embrace what your own? You call it I know be Nigeria player, you don't get sense. You can imagine maybe a player, you can see maybe a player, a striker misses a ball. a Nigeria player, black man, and Nigerian man no get sense. Now you can imagine
which the same
when even the likes of Messi, Ronaldo misses such opportunity. Look at the Yakuba Igbeni at the 2010 World Cup, right?
Yes.
Where he missed
in South Africa.
Hey, everybody Yakubu. But the likes of Messi, Ronaldo have missed something. There was a bomb from the Torres missed. Look at the empty post when he was in Chelsea, empty post, and he ballowed the ball out of the post. And how did Fernando Torres miss this goal? There was another goal, Lukaku, and people were asking, how did Lukaku miss this goal? If it were to be a Nigerian man, that's the end.
Remember, Bukayo Saka, one way or the other, after a while, everything had to go.
Yes,
despite the fact that he's not even a white person, he's a black player. We still saw how they were still able to maneuver a way to at least cover everything.
Yes, but really, we don't do that to our own people.
To sport in Nigeria, media have a lot of role to play. We need to project more. We need to our own first. Like one man would say, Nigerian sport first.
Yes.
But really, no matter how local it appears, it is our own. There's no way you get an Oyibo man to come here and do this, but except maybe a Nigerian actually naturalized to this country. But really, we have a lot to do when it comes to covering sport in Nigeria, especially to develop sport. Now, Tunji Oyeleke, we've been talking before your audio. I hope it's not Snake that swallowed your audio there.
At all. Thank you very much for having me. Thanks to your guys at the background there for sorting this out. But you guys have been talking about the role of media in sport, and I think the problem is that we still have not seen media as a business just yet. We have not paid attention to that just yet. We still see sports as what we used to see it years ago. You know, there was a time when you and I were kids. If we made that mistake of going to the pitch to go play football, we know what will come back home to come and meet. You know, I think Nigerians, we are still seeing sports as that. We are not seeing it as a business just yet. We have not realized that people are making billions of money from business just yet, and the fact that we have not seen it, and that is the reason why proper investment has not gone into media. For example, your guest mentioned that that there's only one radio station in Nigeria now that is 100% sports, and I don't want to reiterate their name because we all know them. There's no TV station today that is dedicated to sports. They always treat sports as a segment. You know, they treat sport as a 1 hour program, probably 1 hour in a whole week, and all of that. So, and it's why we have to commend your own platform, because at least every day I know that you dedicate time for sports and looking at sports, local sports development. Without media, local sports cannot be developed. We cannot harness talents. We cannot follow the progress of our own league. How many of us can actually mention the roster of any team, of any club in the MPFL, for example? We only know 1 or 2 players, and these players, they only come when probably they do one very magical thing in, let's say, the Super Six. Now we know one name or one player that is the highest goal scorer. Those are the only ones that we know. So the reason is that we still don't see sports as a business. And as far as we don't see sports as a business, we cannot have enough money to invest in proper cameras. We cannot have enough money to invest in audio, for example. Adeni, it's a lot, and it's painful because there is a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent that we are not even seeing. Your guest mentioned something very, very important. The fact that even the journalists that we have covering sports, a lot of them, they are all divided along agenda lines. Agenda here, agenda there. There are people, till tomorrow, there are people that will not see Moses Simon as a good player. There are people that will not see Sadiq Umar as a very good player. They will see people like, in fact, there are people that hate the fact that Iwobi decided to come play for Nigeria. There is no positive, and let's compare that with what the British do. Look at British media. Look, Harry Maguire had issues in Greece. And they were, instead of pointing out what he did, they were backing him. They were supporting him. Till tomorrow, Harry Kane will not do anything bad. If Harry Kane goes 1 year without scoring a goal, they will still remember how he scored 30, 40 goals 2 years ago. And that is the beauty. That's the problem we have. We bring down ourselves here. It is we Nigerians that bring down ourselves. They say it is not your own person, they do you. And that is the case with Nigerian sports. So, Asisat Oshoala was recently nominated for was it Asisat Oshoala now? Yes, recently she was nominated for an award, and instead of then Nigerian journalists voting their own person, they went for, I think, the South African woman, and it tells you a lot that you need to know about how we do our own things in this part of the world. Identity. In fact, the matter they pay me, they vex me. Sorry, I'm using pidgin English.
Don't be angry at Tuji Oyeleke. We just have to talk about it, but really it's annoying and painful that we don't give much credence to our own sport. We need to add more.
We don't.
More. Press needs to project Nigerian sport more, because this is our own. We can't take it away and actually adopt English sport. The way the press actually cover up for Maguire, despite his performance, you see Nigerian players, if they commit any error, we actually write them off.
You use it as meme sometimes on status.
Yes.
Like, on social media, what is happening?
And aside that, we've so much focus on football that we forget about other sports. Aside that, the issue of, this particular sport is not too important like football. We just have to do more. Nigerian sport, no matter how TV unfriendly it could be, let's begin to project it.
Look, I know most Nigerians don't know that there was a Nigerian player that was drafted to the NBA. Was it not last week?
Of course, yes.
Most people know that he's from Benin State.
Yes,
but most people don't even know that there was they called his name James Naji from Nigeria. Most people don't even know.
He was drafted in 34.
He was the first person even called up at the draft. But most Nigerians don't even know that there's a Nigeria player there. So
we need to do more by projecting.
To get to NBA, no be being so.
Of course. We know that we need to do more by projecting Nigerian sport. We've been looking at that particular topic, role of media in sport development, and really we need to do more when it comes to sport development in Nigeria, because without the media, you won't know much of these things happening. Even though you see them online, someone somewhere actually cover it to put it online, and they need to do more by projecting Nigerian sportsmen and women in a good light, even though when things go wrong, like you see a way you actually pamper your own. Well, right now we have to leave that particular topic. It's still very huge, but we still continue to talk about it in our subsequent edition. But let's quickly look at this particular story that is coming from NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, after news broke out that they've actually signed a new contract with Jose Pizarro. NFF say we have not renewed Pizarro's contract, Nigerian Football Federation. Tuji, this particular story now, because a lot of Nigerians are not too happy for the fact that Pizarro is still our coach. How do you see this particular story coming from NFF saying we have not renewed Pizarro's contract?
It's a very funny situation, my brother, because there was a time when the NFF claimed to be saying that they were going to use the public opinion of Nigerian football fans and for renew his contract or not. I mean, I've not seen where that is happening before. Even the NFF, look, we have a new leadership, but a lot still has not changed with the NFF. Amaju Pinnick is long gone, but the new leadership seems like they are still using the scattergun approach. You know, they still have not decided on the new coach. I have my own thoughts about the new coach. I will say it. He wasn't a very, very enthusiastic appointment when it was made in the first place, because I did not know who Jose Santos Peseiro was before joining Nigeria. We had to Google. After using the search engines, we realized that he actually has a poor record as a coach. And the same reason why he left his last job, I think Venezuela, is the same reason why he's probably not going to continue with Nigeria. I mean, it's not like we have been paying him that much. We've not been paying him so regularly. But the thing here is, as much as Jose Peseiro came out to say that the Super Eagles is still a work in progress, we are always rebuilding this team. Let's not forget, even when we go for a tournament, we are not going into a tournament with a team that's 100% went through the qualifiers. There are always chop and changes here and there, and that always affects us. But under Jose Peseiro, can we say that this is the pattern that we see him play? Excuse me. Can we say that this is the pattern that he plays? Can we say that, there has been a development? He has been coach of Nigeria for, I think, about 10 matches or so. And we know we've only won probably, say, 2 or 3 matches under Jose Peseiro. And the rest has been draw and losses, embarrassing losses for that reason. losses that we should not even be recording, like the Guinea-Bissau one in Abuja. Come on, man. What are we doing? So I think NFF has an opportunity to correct the mistake that they made in the first place by not extending his contract or renewing his contract. We have time before our next game, and we have enough time to find a new coach for the Super Eagles. We need to get it right this time, because the 2023 AFCON that is supposed to hold in January next year, Nigeria has to win it. It's been a long time. We've recorded a happiness. 2013 was the last time we were happy, we were proud as a footballing nation. We need to get it right again. And for me, Jose Santos Peseiro is not the way to go. And I'll urge the NFF not to make that mistake of extending his contracts.
I'm sure you can hear what he said, that we'll urge NFF not to extend his contract, but although NFF we're waiting to hear what's going to be happening there concerning that contract involving Jose Peseiro and Nigerian Football Federation. Will he still be staying with the Super Eagles, or will he be going? Well, we wait to see. Even though right now he's looking like denial or thereabout. Let's look at what's going to be happening concerning that particular story. We'll still be tracking it. And now let's quickly look at stories trending. It's transfer season, and Arsenal seems to be ready to buy almost the whole England. Tuju Eleke, let's start with Arsenal reached agreement to sign West Ham midfielder Declan Rice, £105 million. I remember someone said, now so they start with Jack Grealish. But right now, Arsenal, they've actually settled this one, £105 million deal.
First of all, I don't think Manchester City ever wanted Declan Rice. Because when they allowed Gundogan leave, they went in for Kovacic. And if you look at Kovacic, I think Kovacic is the closest thing to Gundogan, looking at the positions that they play. Kovacic is a ball carrier. And the same thing we see with Gundogan. Gundogan is also a ball carrier. He's able to appear in those little spaces. And I think I think as far as Manchester City is concerned, they had replaced that gap. So going for Declan Rice, I think it was just a way to prompt Arsenal to actually want to stomp up the cash. West Ham United said, we want 100 million. In fact, if possible, we want 120. But if you bring 100 million, we will listen to you. All that dilly-dallying, bringing 75 plus 15, 80 plus 10, and all of that. I don't know what happened between Arteta and Pep. I don't know whether they had dinner somewhere where he said, you know what, I think you guys should stop slapping a bit. Let's see what happens. Because look at what happened. Immediately, Arsenal decided to table 100 plus 5. What did Manchester City do? They pulled out. And that tells you a lot that we need to, look, I think there is something that is going on between Arteta and Pep as it is that they are not saying. But signing Declan Rice, I think it's a very, very awesome move. I think it's what Arsenal needs. It's what Arteta needs. The revolution is continuing, and a lot of Arsenal fans are happy about what is going on here. He's a player that is actually going to take Arsenal to the next level, and this would mean that Granit Xhaka can finally make that his move to Bayer Leverkusen as it is.
Okay, good one there coming from Tuju Eleke. Arsenal, really, they've done this. It's a good one for them. Now, let's take it 3-in-1 before we wrap it up. Arsenal signed Havertz from Chelsea for £65 million. Good one for Arsenal, and also good for Chelsea. We look at that just briefly, and then Tottenham completes £40 million deal for Leicester midfielder James Maddison. He has joined them from Leicester, and congrats to Tottenham Hotspur. And the last one has to do with Al Ahly of Saudi Arabia signing Edouard Mendy, the goalkeeper of Chelsea. Right now, he has moved to Saudi to join Al Ahly. £16 million till 2026. What a big amount of money. Well, just briefly, you pick one of the three.
Oh yeah, I really don't know what's wrong with Chelsea. You still want to sell everybody. Why Havertz to Arsenal is my problem. He can go to another team probably.
But it shouldn't be your rival.
Not even in England.
Seriously?
You should go to Germany, you should go to Spain, you should go to Italy. Not in England. Why would you sold Havertz to Arsenal, Kovacic to what do you call it, Man City? Those guys will haunt us next season.
I just hope that they won't really haunt you guys down. Well, for Tuju Eleke, right now, Edouard Mendy has gone to Saudi Arabia. and his year to 2026. Briefly.
Well, I'm very happy for him actually, because from a player that did not have a club before joining Rennes, that's brought him to Chelsea. Now he's going to Al Ahly, where he's most likely going to make so much money that he won't even bother if he does not sign for another club after leaving Al Ahly as it is. So I'm actually very happy for him. I'm not happy about how he fell off at Chelsea, but I'm happy that there's
Okay, we just
have done a very good job. For Chelsea, it's good because they have to actually balance they have to balance their accounts and all of that. So they don't want to fall short of FFP rules. So it's good for Chelsea that they are selling all of their players.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, Noel Samson, rather.
The pleasure is mine.
And also for Tunji Oyeleke, we want to appreciate you for joining us on the show from Kaduna there. Good one, I'm
Thank you.
Thank you.